What's up, everybody, and welcome. My name is Texas T-Man with Vapin Gamers, and today we're bringing you a game review of a game called Techwars Online 2. Is it worth buying it? Is it worth playing? We'll find out right now. Here we go. Here's the Techwars Online. We're ready to get started. But first, let's check out the settings. Input. Here's all the keys that you need. WASD and so forth. Pretty typical for kind of a game, right? With the mouse and keyboard. Audio, the total volume, I had to turn like halfway down. It was so loud. You get two different types of languages. Then, of course, the video. Now here, it kept setting itself to 640, so I had to constantly keep setting it to 1920 by 1080. And then, of course, I clicked applied, and I was like, you know what? Tell you what, let's go into the tutorial. Let's check out the tutorial first. Alright, well, let's get into the tutorial and let's see what this game is all about. Let's learn some of the basic settings. You know, that's typically what I like to do. And so here you can see you can start moving with the robot using WSAD keys. Of course, that tells you at the beginning there. Press close. Now, I had a hard time, as you can see here, kind of going back and forth with the keyboard. A little bit disorientating for me. Of course, for those of you guys that know, I'm not a very good keyboard and mouse player, but be that as it may, I gave it a shot. And so as I learned to basically move around, the tutorial seemed to be a little bit laggy. So once I got that done, then of course came this part. Now I had to go and follow the route to get to point A. Okay, I mean, basically that's what you're doing in this game. You do a lot of point capturing, and so this was designed to basically help you to learn how to go where you need to go, right? To give you the arrows. You got your map up there in the upper left hand corner. Point A is where I was headed to. And you know, at this point I'm kind of playing, I'm like, all right, I kind of can see, you know, the graphics aren't too bad. They're pretty decent. I'm sure like on some lower end systems it'll probably play pretty well. You know, once I go over here to the point, then it was like, hey, check it out, congratulations, you made it. Now let's destroy the buildings around you. So you use your left mouse button, and you're gonna see, as I'm sitting here shooting the buildings, I'm like, all right, I'm expecting, you know, really good graphical explosions. Nah, they're all right. You know, again, the one thing that I didn't like was the receptacle and the way that kind of handled it. So once that's done, we go back and let's check it out. Okay, so now we get to choose our side. You got two sides. You got the Cato, which is a robot model, flat-out Stormtrooper, classic Cato Corporation, it's the USA. And then you also have the other one too as well, which since this, I probably am assuming that it's made by a Russian gaming company, and that's all right. And then you have Dominion, which is the Russia side. All right, so here we are at the hangar. Over on the right, you can check out the different weapons that your robot has. Your robot that you do have equipped is in the lower left-hand corner. It's got the little check mark there in the corner. I found a kind of a little bit of a bug with it earlier when I was trying to get through there. Here's your shop. This is the different robots you can buy. They each have their own different armaments and different specials that you can use to figure out, okay, what kind of robot would I like? What's my favorite play style? So as I looked at these things, the one thing that I really wish they did better was define what your specials were a little bit better. The item shop, of course, is grayed out for right now. You've got auto. I'm not really sure what that did. But I went back to the hangar, and then once I was ready to go, it's time to battle it up. So here's the map. Here it is. All right, we're going to get into it. I got my ping rates low. My frames per second is looking nice. I like the fact that's on there. Of course, try to walk over the bridge. And it doesn't go quite so well for me here as I fall down to my death. Oh, no. Well, not my death necessarily. But anyway, fell down, couldn't get out. Then, of course, there's a robot. I'm like, dude, there's a bad guy. I'm going to take him out. I'm going to kill him. And no, I'm not. I'm barely even hitting the guy. So I'm like, all right, I better get the heck out of here. I'll go back over to point B. Now, as you can tell by looking at the map in the upper left-hand corner, the areas, you know, basically it's like control zones, 3 different control points. You on the map is a larger triangle than everybody else, but not by much. I wish they would do something to basically improve that visual so you could really see where you're at. Then I decided, well, I'm going to go ahead and just push forward. Let's see what happens. And then basically I'm like, oh, I wonder what this button does. Boom, freaking kill myself, right? But that's all right. Luckily, I had a good team. And by the time that I was able to get spawned back in, there we go, victory. Of course, the wording on here, your team won, you're getting back Cato Corporation technology and make world more safety. They need to work on language, but that's all right. So anyway, at the end, I look at the stats, at where I'm at, tells you how many kills, flags, etc. You can see the counter in the lower left-hand corner, how many more seconds to the next match. But I'm like, you know, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the hangar, and let's check it out, and let's see what happens.
A few moments later.
Gonna do another match. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get busy. Looks great. Sand, I love it. Looks great. What's this? Where's my robot? I can see the points. I can see the drop-off point, which I only got at the home, which is green. Of course, those are the ones you control. I'm like, okay, no big deal. I'm sure it's probably nothing. You know, the countdown of 5 is stuck. I'm sure there's not a bug at all. Let's see what happens.
One eternity later.
What? Hours later, I'm finally back into the game, looking for a fix. Okay, what happened? Well, let's get back into it. I'm sure we can get into another match. Let's go. Right? Well, it loads up. Takes a little while sometimes. This looks like kind of like the same map. Oh, snap. It did it to me again. So I had this problem. It happened to me multiple times, you guys. I only showed you guys twice. It happened to me about 5 times. I think 5 or 6 times where I tried getting into a different game. Couldn't get in. It kept dropping me off into here. So I basically had to wind up waiting.
3 weeks later, many months later.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
And there we go, defeat. So I finally get back in after waiting for the score to go down, and I'm defeat. I lost. So I'm like, all right, well, what the heck do I do now? This sucks. And there you have it. Final thoughts for me on the game. Well, I kind of do like that type of gameplay. This particular game, I originally wanted to stream it. I wanted to share it live with you guys to be like, hey, check it out. Come and hang out while I do this. But I decided, you know what? Before I do that, I better sit down and play some and see kind of, you know, if it's streamable. And unfortunately, as of the making of this video, which is, you know, basically July 30th, it's not very playable in terms, or at least not enough to do it on stream, because as you saw, I got into the first match, had problems. When I went back to the hangar and trying to get in the next match, it bugged out on me. I mean, guys, I literally spent hours trying to get a workaround for that, because every time you go in there and you have the game locked up, right? Well, there's nothing you can do. You can't escape. You can't get out. You can't do any of those things. So I would encourage you guys, you know, hopefully they get a fix on that. It is an early release right now, so, you know, at the end of this video, I'm going to throw in some additional gameplay. You're welcome to watch it if you'd like. It's another match that I did after I was finally able to get all the bugs out, because that one bugged out on me. I finally got another one, and then, of course, it bugged out on me again, and so I had to wait for probably a good 20 to almost 30 minutes in order to get into another game. Went and searched their forums. I mean, I spent hours looking for a workaround for this. And of course, I was not able to find that. But anyway, so in terms of my opinion, I kind of give it a thumbs down for right now. It still needs a lot of work. It's an early release, so remember that. But for me, not at least until way later, do I think that it's even worth it right now. But that's totally your decision. You might like it. If you do, I think it's only like 13 or 14 bucks on Steam Store. Just make sure to do a search for, there we go. I always forget because the webcam is a little different. Techwars Online 2. Special thanks to the Argus Games team for sending me a key to play this. Very much appreciate it. Thank you for your time and for the chance to get to play your game and to give you my thoughts on that. So anyway, you guys, on behalf of Point and myself, thank you guys very much. I'll see you guys again right here in Vapin Gamers. Later.
is being